go. We got Pat Dombrowski and Mike Jachcinski. Round of 8 here. 8 games round robin. 8 players left. Going to match play. 30 pins. Bonus for a win. 15 for a tie. 0 for a loss. Pat is your tournament leader. He's got a pretty big lead. 275 over. Jachcinski is second at 117 over. Which actually pretty surprising to see a lefty so high, although him and Graham have been bowling pretty good through the season. Both of them are in the finals here. And they were saying that looks pretty good. They were saying in practice session, they're like, well, I got nothing. And they felt like they were locked out. Now they figured something out. They made some adjustments and they're striking a little bit. I think once the lanes broke down, they kind of struggled a little bit more then, but for the most part, it was pretty good. You know, they made some good adjustments. They made some good shots, got themselves into the top 20, and now here we are in the top 8. So it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. But this match in front of us on lanes 3 and 4, Jachcinski and Dombrowski, all square, both struck in the first frame. Jachcinski dead right off his hand, like he tried to force it just a little bit. Patterns are tough like this. You're really looking for those doubles. If you can find a way to pull those doubles off, 200 is a good score. Double gets you into that 200 range as long as you stay clean. And that's kind of what we're looking for, is keep yourself into the positive. Don't chop. All right, made that spare. Dombrowski was a motive staffer here last year. Leading into the season, decided to make a switch, went from motive and signed on with Storm. Definitely one of the best players in the Central. Dominating this event so far this year. Well outside there, floated it. You can see the difference between, you guys probably can't see it right now, but eventually you'll see when some of these other matches with the righties, Dombrowski's got a soft enough hand, he's able to float the ball through the front. In places like this where there's a lot of early friction, his forward roll and his soft hand does really well. Really, really well. That's a hell of a spare right there. So we'll see if he makes any kind of an adjustment on that right lane, or if he's going to just make sure he throws it better. More than likely, he's probably just going to try to throw it better. I think he pretty much threw a hustle, a camo hustle, most of the time. Pretty much the entire time on this pattern. That's what's in his hand right now. Actually, I don't think that's a camo. That might be the PBR. That might be an old PBR. Pat, what is that, a PBR?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an old PBR. Nah. Jachcinski with a purple hammer. Shocking to see a left-hander using a purple hammer. Sarcasm in full effect. Crossing over. Trip 4-pin. That's a Dombrowski special right there. So we're all square here going through the 3 frames, heading into the 4th frame. Grandpa to the right of us. Looks like he's got a stealth in his hand. He's got the first 3 strikes in this game. He looks pretty good over there. Looks comfortable. He's just firing it. He's got it going. He's whipping it down there. But he's hooking it too. That's what's crazy. He's throwing it hard and he's still curving it pretty good. Let's see if Jachcinski gets one going in the right direction this time. It's a little bit better. Definitely better. Crumbles that 7-pin. Gets it to topple over. That's pretty sweet. I think that's a little bit of a problem with urethane this week, is urethane forces you to open it up a little bit because of how much early friction there is. And urethane bowling balls are already super early friction type bowling balls. So you have to get them going to the right. But when you do get them going in the right direction, generally they still go through the pins, especially the purple hammers, because the purple hammers, they just continue better than any other urethane ball. Dombrowski up over here where he washed out before. Yeah, see, and I think that kind of played a little bit in his mind. Wanted to make sure he did not wash out again. So kind of shut it down just a little bit more. Might have even got his hand around it a little bit more just in case. But he was pretty fortunate to only leave the 4-7. Across the lane shooting 4-7. Easy peasy. No problem there. You're not going to see a guy like Pat miss too many spares. Good thing about these match play games is they go pretty quick. So now Pat back up on the left lane. Again, using that hustle PBR. It's got a lot of lane shine on it, so it's pretty clean. And that ball was early for me when I used it a little bit. That looks a little left, but will it sit? Oh, he didn't get that Dombrowski trip 4. That's okay, staying out of trouble for the most part. Leaves a 4-pin, clean that up. Let's see if he can make some adjustments here this first match. There's always a lot of pressure on the tournament leader, especially when you got a big lead like he does, 160-some pin lead. Got to protect it. So he's pretty much just trying to keep the ball in play and not do anything silly. It's going to take some good scores from some guys to really try and catch up to Pat. Especially on a pattern like this, that makes it difficult. But those 30 bonus pins can really play a big factor in this. There's a lot that can go into this. If you're catching a lot of wins, you can do some damage, make up some ground. I think bowling 200 and winning is going to make up some pretty good ground. Sure why. The camera zoomed in, so back that out a little bit. I don't know why I did that. That was really weird. Very interesting. We got 3-bagger up there for Jachcinski. I missed that shot. I didn't even see what happened there. Must have been good. But I think the problem that the lefties had through the week was the transition once they started to change a little bit. So now you've got only 2 lefties in these finals. I don't know that they'll see a whole lot of transition. So lefties might be able to make this run. That's a 4-bagger there, so he's putting a little bit of pressure on Pat here. And as I talked about Graham throwing bullets, he's now split back-to-back frames. It's a better shot from Pat. There's that trip 4. There it is. I got that one. Talking all about them Pat Dombrowski trip 4s. But you can't do it twice in a row. All right, the challenge is on. Just told him to do it twice in a row. Let's see if he can do it. I don't think he's really worried about tripping a 4 more than just getting this double here. Just getting this double gets him back on track. Got a hook. Great shot. That's pretty good. I mean, we'll count that. So that actually helps his cause a little bit, puts a little bit of pressure back on Jachcinski. See if he can keep the train rolling on the tracks. Graham just got 3 off the left. That's very unusual. You see the frustration in his face for sure. After throwing 3 perfect shots for a 3-bagger. Jachcinski, that's pretty close. If it holds, not going to happen. So see, there you put a double up. Pat puts a double up, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, if I don't keep striking, Pat can catch me. And it makes you squeeze just a little bit. You really start thinking about those things. That's where the mental game kind of comes into play. Focus is a big thing. Really just focusing on the process, one shot at a time, not worrying about results, not worried about what the other person did. It's really hard to do. 99 out of 100 times, most people can't do it. We might have chopped that. Definitely chopped it. So that's big right there. That changes the game for sure. We've got a whole new ball game now. So with another, Pat goes up, throws a double, he takes the lead. Up until that point, Jachcinski actually looked really good. Real confident, nice smooth strokes. A little bit of pressure on him, made him crumble just a pinch. It's a better shot. It was a great shot, bad break. That's kind of the price you pay when we're throwing your thing. Sometimes it doesn't quite get through the pins and it just kind of stops a little bit. Because it makes you open that angle up, and if you don't get it to the right spot, you got to be a little bit further left than that or a little to the right of that and it strikes. That half pocket hit generally is trouble. Not trouble because you leave a single pin, but trouble as in you're not striking. Oh boy. That's back-to-back missed spares. Those types of things are never good for your scores, folks. All you kids watching at home, make your spares. This is where it really counts. This is a big moment here for the match. If Pat can come up and throw a couple of really good shots here, he can take control. That's pretty close. That's what you're supposed to do. You get a guy that opens up in front of you. You go back and you stuff it in his face. You walk in front of him, you slap it out in his face. Give him a little chin music, whatever it is you want to do. So that's definitely puts Dombrowski in the lead. Take a commanding lead here if he strikes again. Still got a bundle out there, still got 249 possible. It's got to hook a lot.
I want that red stuff right there.
You're gonna have to wait, buddy. Just hold on. Here, Billy will help you. Get some singles.
I know what to
Put it in. Oh,
Some singles. Good spare over there is by Weidman. Use 210, makes a spare. Just off camera over there, you can still see it, but we got washout here. There's a big conversion here. Otherwise, we're looking at a close match again. Spare shooter Dombrowski. Look pretty good. Really would rather not shoot at those, though. But if you're going to leave them, better make them. So this shot's real important for Mike. If he strikes here, it gives him a chance to double in the 10th, force Dombrowski to double in the 10th to beat him. Got to get this one first, though. Another pretty good shot. Still didn't finish. That's 4 opens in a row over there for Grandpa. He's got 108 in the 7th. Just off your screen after starting with a 3-bagger. Now that's the thing about this surface, is it really seemed like it changed so fast. Very speed sensitive. Alright, made that spare, that's good. Oh, thanks.
it only cost him $1 for it, so there's an extra 50 cents in the thing.
Oh, nice. Alright, so If he doubles the 10, Jachcinski's got a possible 214 out there still. Dombrowski max at 226. So if Jachcinski can double, if he can throw all three in the 10, he can force strike 9 spare to win. Or 9 spare strike to win. Just a little left. A little left, can't quite get there. See, I thought that would actually carry. Coming in a little bit further around the head pin. That's 5 opens in a row for Graham. Got 117 in the 8th after starting with a 3-bagger. That's how quick things can change on a pattern like this. So with a spare here, Mike can strike for 203. Doesn't even force Pat to mark. That's the 3rd missed spare in a row. Or 3rd missed spare.
Does the machine take over?
1 quarter and 2 quarters and $1. As my kid's asking for more money all the time. So 192 for Mike. Out of what looked to be a promising game, he opened 3 of the last 4 frames. And right there, you can see how quickly things can change.
Dad, they blocked the dollar thing.
So if Mike made that spare, Pat left this split, it could have been a winner. That's why spares are important. So this spare is a must to Mike the match. Not quite enough over there, so we got a final score 201-192. 30 pins bonus for Pat Dombrowski. It's going to extend his lead by another 40 pins, at least. Moving on to match number 2 here, folks. You are listening to J.R. Raymond calling the action here at the PBA Angola Bowl. We're going to call it the PBA Angola Bowl Open, brought to you by Farmers State Bank and Road Trip. Stay tuned, folks. Match number 2 coming up.